Hey y'all, Natalie here for a cherry on top today, and I have a patriotic layout. I hope you all had a great Memorial Day weekend if you're here in the States. And I was scrapbooking yesterday and I thought, you know what, I want to do a patriotic layout. So I grabbed this old paper pad from Pete Paisley called Sweet Freedom, and it has these muted colors, kind of like a blue jean blue and a muted red. So I wanted to create a mixed media background with those colors. So I'm going to use this fireworks stamp set by Catherine Pooler. It's called Sparkle and Pop. And I've had it for a while, and I've been meaning to literally create this exact layout. And I don't know what's taken me so long, but I'm so in love with how this turned out. And I hope you like it. And you could use these fireworks stamps for so many different things. Obviously, 4th of July is kind of what we think of when we think of fireworks, but I mean, we do fireworks on New Year's Eve. Disney World always has fireworks, so I definitely have planned to do a Disney layout with these, and any color combination for any celebration. I mean, they could be not really fireworks, just like a medallion type thing. So I had a lot of fun playing with these different stamps and just kind of seeing how they layer together. There's so many possibilities because the layers can be different with each shape. Like you can combine them in so many different ways and so many different colors. This is like the best kind of stamp set for me because I love to look for things that can be really versatile for my backgrounds. And so I put clear gesso on this background paper, and I'm just going to fill the top portion of the page with these stamps on the gessoed portion. And then I'm going to go in with my paintbrush and I'm going to blur out portions of the stamped images so we get a watercolor effect. Now, obviously, when you mix red and blue, you get purple. I'm okay with a little bit of that, but I do want to keep most of the colors separate. So I am doing a little bit of kind of like, I don't know, being more cautious or careful than I typically am. So you'll see me roll up some color here. I will go back in and add some color because when I roll up some of that water, it just takes up too much of the color. Happy medium. So that's what I'm doing there. I put the stamp pad on the glass mat and I add additional red in there. And I'm really loving how that's looking. And it's actually not mixing too much at all. There's not really any purple tints. And most, because I use more blue. So I think that's why it just tend to be blue. So I dried it a little bit and now I'm going to go back in and add additional color. It needs more blue. I've added a lot of red, so now it needs more blue. So that's a Distress Oxide, which is a little different than the Distress ink that I'm otherwise using. And the Catherine Pooler ink as well. They're dye inks, I think. So the Distress Oxide has like a softer look when it is dry. So yeah, just messing around playing with that. Super fun. I know it kind of looks like a mess here, but I'm going to go back through and add splatters as well, which will help it have like a dimensional look. And I made sure to keep some of the stamped images intact, as Missy would say, so it looks like it was left out in the rain. So I go in to add splatter, and that paintbrush is just way too huge, and it gives me all these huge splatters. So I switched to a smaller paintbrush, but then I determined that the color still isn't vibrant enough. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, the muted colors remind me of blue jeans. Well, I have a shimmer that's called blue jeans. So that was actually perfect because I want my splatters to be really saturated in color. So I get out that blue jeans splatter to create splatters on the page, and it might be a little bit more difficult to see here, but it is really pigmented, and so I let those dry naturally without wiping them up. And I use the ink with the paintbrush for the red because they don't need to be as vibrant, because as we know, red mixed media can tend to look a little bit bloody if we aren't careful. So this is Nouveau Glacier Paste in silver, and I'm adding a ton of water and watering it down to use as a splatter as well. And I've done this on a few layouts and I absolutely adore it. It just gives glittery splatters. And so I put them all over the page, and I'll show you the final here after drying here in a second. And it's so, so pretty. I love it so much. There you go. There's the final. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh my gosh, I love it. And some of the pieces of that glacier paste are intact as like really large and kind of 3D. So here's the photos I'm using. And I'm going to put them in a line there. And I was going to add a lot of pattern paper from that paper pad. And I'm like, you know what? I just love the way it looks right now. So I've cut out the title. It's Stars and Stripes, My Kind of Guys. And I cut the Stars and Stripes word from the Heather Alpha by Pink Fresh Studio. It's my favorite. So I did a red background and then a silver insert because it cuts 2 letters with each die cut. And now I'm just going through that little 6x6 paper pad and pulling out a few things to fussy cut as just embellishments. And then I needed an ampersand, which unfortunately the Heather Alpha does not have an ampersand. But I found that red glitter one in an old pack of thickers. I did pop up the main photo there that I first stuck down on 2 things of foam because I wanted it to stand out a little bit more. And then I'm just laying the other photos down flat. And I was going to start embellishing, but then I thought, let's go ahead and get the title laid down. So I'm trying to figure out how to center it. And you'll see here in a second, I don't center it quite perfectly. I end up having a little bit of a space on the left, but you know what? Fill it with embellishments. That's what I do. I'm not a precise scrapper at all. There you see, the word stripes goes all the way to the end of the page, so I need to fill in that gap. But I actually am happy with how it turns out. So I did have the puffy stickers from this collection as well. So I stick that heart flag down under that and boom, there we go. No problem there. So I'm just going to embellish here a little bit, but I love the way that the firework background looks so much that I don't feel like it needs too much embellishment. So I just fussy cut, like I said, a few of those pieces out from the 6x6 paper pad. That little piece right there, I'm going to rough up the edges and ink them up and use them under the subtitle just to aid in my journaling. I'm going to put my journaling down there kind of in like a V pattern or chevron pattern, whatever you want to call it. It like will go kind of to a point below the title. I have a feather, a couple of little die cuts from that collection still left in my stash. Those are from the paper pad, but I just ran them through my die cut machine with this little die by 2D Designs, I think is what it's called. So it just gave a little decorative circular look to them. It makes them look more like die cuts. I'm going to do a little cluster up there at the top. I die cut the buffalo. And these were just some fun photos that I took of my sons last year at our semi-annual 4th of July party, and those kids are party animals, y'all. But also they're huge. Like they have doubled in size. Both of my kids have doubled in size since I took this picture less than a year ago. What is happening? They grow up so fast. I saw these and I was like, oh, that hurts my heart a little bit. But yeah, I'm finishing up adding a few more puffies around, and that'll be about it. I'm going to link down below to a cherry on top if you want to shop with my affiliate link, as well as the gallery. There's so many different things you can search for in the gallery to get inspiration, but I hope you're inspired to scrapbook some of your fun Memorial Day photos from yesterday. Off screen, I added some silver essential jewels as well as some journaling. But please let me know if you have any questions down below. And I'd love it if you give me a like and a follow. I'd love for you to subscribe, and I thank you for watching. Bye, y'all.